welcome to the newest insights on worldwide occurrences on our YouTube platform. The following are the primary highlights from this broadcast. Significant progression in the persisting strife in the region. During a virtual gathering of the United Nations Security Council, a stern warning was delivered by Vian Toland, a special envoy from Qatar. He spoke of a potential shift in the Israel-Palestine conflict dynamics, a shift that could exacerbate tensions within the broader Middle East region. The conflict, which ignited on October 7, has seen casualties on both sides and resulted in a complete blockade by Israel on essential supplies and energy to the region. High-level discussions were held between President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu regarding the Hamas attacks. In these discussions, Biden reassured the United States' unwavering support for Israel and its commitment to protect its population. The conversation also involved rescue efforts for hostages captured by Hamas, including American citizens, and providing humanitarian support for Gaza's citizens. To address the needs of the people in Gaza and the West Bank, President Biden pledged a $100 million humanitarian aid package. This aid will be distributed through United Nations agencies and international non-governmental organizations. United Nations Emergency Relief Coordinator Martin Griffiths reported significant engagement in relief operations but emphasized the immense demand for aid. Griffiths stressed the importance of large-scale, cautious, and reliable relief efforts. He underlined the need for safety during aid distribution and pointed towards international humanitarian law, which demands individuals to determine safe locations for themselves. Furthermore, he expressed his optimism that relief operations the southern Gaza Strip would kick off in the coming days. The United Nations, including the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, has a strong presence in Gaza, with around 14,000 staffers aiding in relief distribution. These statements followed President Biden's announcement that Israel has committed to allowing the flow of humanitarian aid through the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt. The Icelandic government also pledged a new humanitarian aid package worth €13 million for Palestinians, which doubles their initial contribution for this year. Irish Foreign Minister Michael Martin referred to the situation as an unforeseen crisis and urged the European Union to increase its support. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken confirmed that the U.S. and Israel have devised a plan to ensure the smooth delivery of humanitarian aid to people in Gaza, enabling multilateral organizations and donor countries to extend their reach to those in need. The head of U.S. diplomacy did not provide specific details about the mentioned plan. A source stated that the Biden administration will push for a new $2 billion weapons aid package for Israel and Ukraine. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan mentioned that President Biden is expected to engage in in-depth negotiations with the U.S. Congress regarding the approval of this aid. However, it remains unclear how this legislation will pass, given the absence of a Speaker of the House in Congress. Additionally, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announced an extra £10 million, approximately $12 million, in aid for the Palestinian people, who are facing a humanitarian crisis. Hamas released a video on the evening of October 16 showing a young French-Israeli woman, Mia, who was kidnapped in Gaza. In the video, Mia, 21 years old, revealed that she had been injured in the arm and was taken to Gaza. She also stated that Hamas had performed surgery on her at a Gaza hospital and provided her with medical treatment. The captive asked for her release and requested that Hamas return her home as soon as possible. Mia's family confirmed their agreement with the release of this video. Hamas for the first time publicly acknowledged the capture of hostages from Israel, taking them to Gaza. The Israeli government believes that 199 people are currently held captive in Gaza by Hamas, while a Hamas spokesperson stated that they are detaining at least 200 to 250 detainees. Since the Hamas militant movement launched a sudden attack on Israel on October 7, more than 10 days have passed, and leaders and intelligence agencies of various nations are working to rescue their citizens taken hostage by Hamas. This has become the largest-scale hostage situation in recent memory, with citizens from dozens of countries held by Hamas. Hanbi, the head of Israel's National Security Council, mentioned that the government's hostage liaison officer is continuously updating the situation with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu multiple times a day. The Israeli government has faced criticism from the families of the hostages for not proactively communicating with them or providing information. Groups of families with hostages and missing individuals have established a temporary headquarters in the city of Tel Aviv to support those affected by the Hamas crisis. Hamas has declared that prisoner exchange negotiations will only happen after the conflict ends. They have stated that they will consider releasing the captives if Israel stops its airstrikes and releases all Palestinian prisoners. Approximately 6,000 Palestinians are currently in Israeli custody. If Israel continues to attack, Hamas has claimed it will execute its hostages as a retaliatory measure. Daniel Hagar, a spokesperson for the Israel Defense Forces, emphasized that rescuing the hostages is a top priority for Israel and the government, along with the military. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, engaging with our content. It would be fantastic if you'd click the like button and subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thanks for being part of our journey.